the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to talk about hostile grinding and when you actually get those level requirements. When do things change, why do they change, and how to kind of prepare for them, which is a little bit of a difficult task, I think, for many people because it helps determine, am I ready to level up yet? Whether it's leveling up rep or actually going up different levels, because some hostiles are based on your rep level for a particular faction, while others are actually based on your level. So yeah, we'll kind of cover all that in detail. And it's one of those that I've been working on a while, where early on I started my grinding when it came to factions actually right here. For those who've been following the channel for a while, this was my first system to start my grind, Davadul, because I was going Klingon and Federation back in the day. And this is, if you are a new player watching this video, this is probably where you can get started and really get going. Because this right here, this little trader, is going to give you 10 rep of Klingon, 4 fed, and in itself, that's not a ton, but that is definitely enough to get you started as you go through the early portions. And holy zero node, I'm so sorry. My ADD is kicking in, and I just want to come and just, oh my gosh, y'all. Look. They're everywhere. I want to take them all out. Oh my gosh. All right. Transition out of here. We gotta quit messing around. Oh my goodness. No. Anyway, so dual faction grinding is something I've pushed for a long time. I think it greatly benefits all players. And just a quick reminder, your rep locks are 10 million, 1 billion, and then 15 billion. So you'll see my faction rep is currently at, I'll just bring it up here. I'm at 253 Klingon, 508 Romulan, and then obviously I'm locked at 10 on Federation, working on X-Borg, working on Bajoran, working on Rogue, etc., etc., etc. So let's actually get into the initial point. I'm talking about rep there. So let's talk about grinding hostiles, and this is based on rep. So right here on this chart, and a shout out to the data Discord. That is a Discord bot similar to how LCARs used to exist. Has some really good data in it, just like the KMA does. We like representing all the content creators for the game, so we're using the data bot here for a second. Now you'll see over there, we go all the way down to 15 billion and the NPCs that you have to hit. So hostiles for that particular faction. Now remember, and we'll kind of cover this in a second, freebooters that have just come out have actually made it to where you don't have to necessarily go here. You can cover a lot of that in your freebooters. But until they actually adjust the dailies to include faction allegiance and hostile Harbinger, you might end up still be doing some of this every other day, every day, depending on how often you want to do it. And here are the numbers that you actually have to hit. So you can see that me at commended and glorified and going up into these new areas, you'll see a change in terms of what I have to hit. And once you hit 1 billion, you're hitting 50s. Now, the key for me has been effective rep grinding comes down to really one thing. There's two types of grinding. One, in 4-star and 5-star space, you have grinding for parts where you're not worried about rep as much, because this is worth its weight in gold. You need as much of this as you can get, and even the primes are worth investing into if you can get the refinery primes, because you need literally, you will not have enough. I'll just put it that way. You need to pull this every time it's available. You need to go through it every time it's available and pull. So what you end up finding is you need to determine what you're going to grind. So where my pylum is right now is a rep grinding spot for me, because I've got these big 51 Belosia miners. If you remember, Chin works up to 51. So this is actually the last spot before I would need to swap and then start doing my Strange New Worlds crew, which I actually have on the Valdor right here. But you look at the rep here, I'm getting 30,000 essentially, plus all my research. I'm probably going to end up with, we'll actually calculate it here in a second, but Klingon rep and Romulan, that's the biggest numbers. Let's come into my faction real quick. We're going to take a look at our rep. We are currently sitting at a very large, very beautiful 508 651 644. So 508 million. I'm just curious, we're going to track how much we actually get. And we're going to hit this thing and see. Now again, this is what I just do for rep grinding. If I was actually parts grinding, I'd actually be hunting these. Or in my pylum's case, I really need to go hunt more interceptors, meaning I would run something like Pike Moreau Cath or Strange New Worlds just because I'm trying to grind for two different things. It's expanding past what you're normally used to. So let's go in here real quick and take a look at where we went with our faction. We went up to 508. Wow. 508, 724, 844. Now let's subtract what we had before, which was 508, 651, 644. Means I actually got 73,000 rep from that one hit on that 51. But again, that's for a rep grinding focus. And all these levels that I have to hit are based on my rep level. But you also have swarms, and swarms are based on your level. So it's actually based on your ops range. So as you increase in ops, the swarms you have to hit change. It's something that you have to take note of that, again, maybe not as important now because of freebooters, though I do believe that freebooters still needs to get a little bit of adjustment. It's something we talk about in the Discord a lot, that we want to get improvement based on. Freebooters needs to cover more things in the dailies, and I'll show you specifically which ones I'm talking about. We have been pushing for those since freebooters launched, and I do love freebooters, but the sweeps needs to cover more. But anyway, here are your swarm systems and what you have to hit based on ops level. And when I was making the transition going from 45 to 46, I had to take note that, well, now my Slayer hostile requires me to hit 46s instead of 45s. So I had to make sure that my Franklin A was able to do that. Again, now that freebooters are out, this has a little less relevance, but for all you players who are not at freebooter level, you're below 38, you're 1 through 37, this is something to note. Unlike factions, which go up based on rep, swarms go up based on ops level. So if you're sitting there right now at 34 and you're just kind of chilling, just having a, your grand old time, well, you're okay. But as soon as you go to 36, your requirements change. And you need to pay attention to these and note, hey, as you're leveling up, as you get into the Franklin A area, which is up at the very top, if you were to go to 38, you change again. So being able to make sure that you can hit these hostiles effectively based on your ops level is incredibly important. Now, before anybody asks, both of these are in the STFC general channel of my Discord, and I think they're also pinned in the specific channel. So the swarm one's in the Franklin channel, and then we have Pseudo and the guys had the faction one, which was on the screen, in the regular channel. So if you're looking for those, that's where to find them. And in terms of rep grinding, people always ask me, where's the most effective place to do it? The answer to that is honestly simple. Go where you can hit the most traders effectively. So like for me, I'm coming into a place like here where as long as I can kill 20 to 25, 25 is kind of my personal base number. If I can kill 25 hostiles in the area, I'm happy, I'm good. And I'm also at the same time trying to grind out parts. Now, drawback to where I'm up at here is this is actually just rep grinding because I can't really do anything with 5-star parts yet. And that's also something to note. Even DJ's running into that. It's like, oh man, I went in the 50s or my parts, my refinery, my stuff like that. Look, you got all these different systems and understanding where things are as you go out in deeper space is why the hostiles tab is so nice. But you gotta be mindful of that. If you're rep grinding, you wanna go for the biggest traders that you can grind effectively for the most amount of rep. As you saw, that 51 Belosian gave me 73,000 Romulan rep, which is a lot. I mean, a lot of y'all going, well, damn, that's it's more freaking rep than I get grinding all day. But it's all relative as it scales up. Again, though, I just want to point this out because we are still working on faction allegiance. This needs to count with freebooters. They need to make this adjustment and then also come down here to the hostile harbingers. Both of these. And these are so important because of, what was I just harping on? Interceptor parts or the broken parts in general. And then you have the milestone here, which gives out the fixed parts. That doesn't come for the uncommons, the rares, and even greater than that. So all of this is you're going through your process. And faction grinding, hostile grinding, something to be mindful of. Now, the good thing is not a lot of other reps require that. Like, you don't have to have a specific, hostile to grind for Bajor. You just might want to do the one that's maybe more efficient. Like for me, I'm over here grinding in this system just because I need so many a day in terms of doing my daily turn in. Mantis is the same way. The only ones that are kind of locked are the ones we're talking about here. And thankfully, freebooters have really altered that and made it a lot easier than it was before. So we just kind of scam this system since it doesn't have Fog of War, and you'll see people grinding these, which now accounts for swarms and for their factions. But hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, or if you still have questions, right here, YouTube comments, leave them down below. That way I can try to come and help you out if you're having trouble with faction. If you understand, maybe, am I doing it as efficiently as I could be? Odds are you're probably doing fine, but it's still good to know the finer notes and when and where to do things, because you also don't want to take your rep up too high where you can't handle it. Like imagine being a level 35, but you've hit the 1 bill lock and now you've got to hit level 50s. It's going to make it really difficult to do all of your dailies. Same time, one of the reasons we say, look, as you're leveling up your Franklin, might want to make sure that's ready to scrap at 35 so that you can get the Franklin A unlocked. If for no other reason, the researches have definitely improved, especially thanks to the Borg Refinery, come the Borg Tech down here, and now you've got the resources tab, and these are now worth doing. So anyway, hopefully this gets you prepared. This month is going to be an interesting month. Can't wait to see what y'all think about it. And last but not least, if you want to support the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe even pick you up one of those sweet t-shirts you can get on our merch store. Link in the description below. Anything that you want to see as a video, hit us up. We'll make it happen. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. Remember, tomorrow, brand new arc and also Battle Pass giveaway on Twitch. Make sure you're there.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.